Mr. Wexler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Petraeus, Ambassador Crocker. I vehemently opposed the surge when the President announced it last winter, and instead I called for our troops to be withdrawn. In your testimony today, you claim that the surge is working and that you need more time. With all due respect, General, among unbiased, nonpartisan experts, the consensus is stark. The surge has failed based on most parameters. In truth, war-related deaths have doubled in Iraq in 2007 compared to last year. Tragically, it is my understanding that 7 more American troops have died while we've been talking today. Cherry-picking statistics or selectively massaging information will not change the basic truth. And please understand, General Petraeus, I do not question your credibility. You are a true patriot. I admire your service to our nation. But I do question your facts. And it is my patriotic duty to represent my constituents and question you about your argument that the surge in troops be extended until next summer, especially when your testimony stating that the dramatic reduction in sectarian deaths is opposite from the National Intelligence Estimate, the Government Accounting Office, and several other non-biased, non-partisan reports. I am skeptical, General. More importantly, the American people are skeptical because 4 years ago, very credible people, both in uniform and not in uniform, came before this Congress and sold us a bill of goods that turned out to be false. And that's why we went to war based on false pretense to begin with. This testimony today is eerily similar to the testimony the American people heard on April 28, 1967 from General William Westmoreland when he told the American people America was making progress in Vietnam. General, you say we're making progress in Iraq, but the Iraqi parliament simply left Baghdad and shut down operations last month. You say we're making progress, but the nonpartisan GAO office concluded that the Iraqi government has failed to meet 15 of the 18 political, economic, and security benchmarks that Congress mandated. You say we're making progress, but war-related deaths have doubled, and an ABC-BBC poll recently says that 70% of Iraqis say the surge has worsened their lives. Iraqis say the surge is not working.
My question is, while we wait for this to happen, how much more blood should we invest? If it takes another 4 years, I'd like to know from each of you your best, realistically optimistic view of where Iraq will be in those 4 years. And if it is that we spend during that time another 4,000 American lives, create another 20,000 plus people maimed for life, spend another $600 billion, see our military further decimated more than it has been already, will this be worth it?
Note that there is no question that al-Qaeda Iraq is part of the greater al-Qaeda movement. We have intercepted numerous communications between al-Qaeda senior leadership, AQSL as they're called, and the...
Isn't it true, General, al-Qaeda in Iraq formed in 2005, 2 years after we first got there?
I'm not saying when it started. I'm saying merely that al-Qaeda Iraq clearly is part of the overall greater al-Qaeda network.
But they didn't exist until we existed
numerous
on
communications, and there is no question also but that al-Qaeda Iraq is a key element in igniting the ethno-sectarian violence. They have been, in effect, an element that has poured gas on burning embers with the bombing of the Golden Dome Mosque, for example, and with efforts that they have tried recently, for example, bombing the poor Yazidi villages in northwestern Iraq and so forth.
Are they a threat to us?
Al-Qaeda Central is a threat to us. I don't know what the result would be if we left Iraq and left Al-Qaeda Iraq in place. That is very, very hard to say. I don't know where they would go from here. Again, I'm not trying to
then how could you suggest that we leave after the sectarian violence stops?